from Ambitionz, and today we have a very, very special guest. He's only 21. He's also a friend of mine, and he's been having some major success with social media marketing. I welcome you, Mark himself.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you, man. Actually, Ambitionz and we actually had a video on my channel a few weeks ago. We did one, so it's good to be on the other side, man. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem, man. So let's just start off with just you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with your journey to success.
Yeah, well, it's been very recent. I took the Lopez program, so starting in February, it was actually January. End of January, I started taking the program, and I just started watching the videos. After the first few videos, I said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go ahead and actually get started. I'm not gonna finish the entire course because it's gonna be a long time ahead. Because I know they had a lot of more videos to finish. So I wanted to get started right away and get my feet wet. Because I know the biggest thing for me was going to be a hurdle was getting the clients, and that's what Joe Soto mentioned early on in the course. So basically, after just getting my feet wet, I literally to grind out the first couple of clients that I got were straight everything. Only thing I knew to do was cold calling and cold approaching. So like going in person, and then asking anybody that I knew. But the biggest thing I did was I did hundreds of cold calls, hundreds of cold approaches, literally. If you look at my channel early on, you'll see me doing that. That's all I do. And so until recently, I started doing networking, which has been extremely helpful. But anyways, throughout that time, I got two people to go ahead and take advantage of my services. And those two clients I still have, and I've gotten some insane results. On my Instagram, I'm going to put a video up on my YouTube, but on my Instagram story last week, I put up a video, and you saw this, Ambitionz. You saw that I actually got. I've been doing testing a lot for this restaurant client that I have. We got 60 people to come in after running some advertising for them online. So I've been doing a lot of very effective strategies. I've been testing a lot of different things. I've been going. So I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I've definitely within the past 3-4 months, I've been hitting it hard, and I've gotten some good results. So right now, where I'm at is two clients that are paying me. I have several free trial clients. I started networking very recently. And I've started a different course that's been helping me and progressing me. I've been getting a ton of leads from them, from the ways I've been learning. So I guess the biggest thing I've learned so far is be effective with the way you find clients, and definitely don't cold call or cold approach as much. I'm sticking to networking. But yeah, so long story short, that's kind of where I'm at.
Man, that's great, man. That's great. We have the same story, so it's kind of like this. We're doing the same stuff that's going on.
Right.
So let's just take a step back real quick. I wanted to ask you, just so my viewers can get a different perspective.
Yeah.
So what did it take as far as mindset and skill to be able to go out and get your first client?
Yeah, well, it took a lot of balls. It took a lot of it took a lot of confronting some fears that I had. Right, so going up and going up to random people or going up to a business, putting myself on the line was very scary for me. The biggest mindset I had was the biggest mindset shift that I had was, hey, I'm gonna be doing this as much as it takes, as long as it takes. I can do 100 approaches until I get my first client. So I at one point I was really scared to go inside different businesses. But what shifted my mindset was saying, you know what, I don't care how long this takes. Unless I get one person, it's going to be worth it. And then from there, as long as you get your first client, to get other clients is going to be much, much easier. You can start making testimonials. You can start getting referrals from that one client. And it's going to be very important. So the biggest mindset shift I had was I went into a business saying, I'm not scared to lose. I'm not scared to fail. This is complete Gary V right here. But at a certain point, if you take so much action, at a certain point, you're just numb to it all. You don't get affected. But in the very beginning, the hardest part is actually getting yourself to go out, right? Going out, talking to businesses, cold calling, failing, sounding stupid, being scared that you don't know what you're talking about. Because that's how it's going to be in the beginning. That's how everyone starts out with, right? So the biggest mindset was literally just going out. Even if I was scared, I'd just go out and do it until I did it so much that I just didn't feel that anymore.
Right, man. Great answer, man. Great answer. So, let's say you have your first client, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best way to provide value to them? Should you immediately outsource, or should you take it upon yourself and do it for yourself? How would you do that?
Right. So I'll tell you what I did and what I'll be doing in the future. So when I first got my first client, I went ahead and I did work for them. Right. What I recommend doing, and I'll talk about more about this in detail a bit later. But what I recommend doing is if you can understand Facebook advertising or whatever services that you offer to that client enough to where you can communicate with somebody else if you decide to outsource. That'd be a great way to start setting up your business in a certain way. So so just to take a step back, what I did was when I first got my first client, I went ahead and I just delved. I'm still to a degree I'm doing this. I delved into Facebook advertising like heavily, right? And Instagram advertising heavily. So I started doing work for them on those platforms. I started watching YouTube videos. I started watching I bought a couple courses. I bought a few different coaching calls from people. I just really tested a lot. And the most thing that I did was I went ahead and I tested a lot by myself with that client. I think that maybe in the beginning, I would suggest maybe your first client, so that where you're competent, you know what you're doing, you've done it before, and you can, if you want to go ahead and outsource that work to somebody else or contract out. You're competent, you know what you're talking about, and you know how to communicate back and forth with somebody. So what I now I'll talk a little bit more about in the future. Now, as I get more clients, what I'm going to do is, and this is what I'm currently doing to a degree, is I'm outsourcing work. So whatever piece of work, like maybe content creation, so like posting every day, I definitely don't do that. I don't want to do that as a job for me. I outsource that work. I have somebody else do that. If it's SEO work, I don't know how to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. I outsource that work. Facebook ads, that's going to come to, I don't outsource that just yet. I have to find somebody who's really specialized, who's really good, train them, and then I'll outsource that work eventually. But at this point, I like doing it. I enjoy doing it for Facebook advertising. And another instructor, if anybody's watched the Ty Lopez course, there's an instructor, Joe Soto, who's been immensely helpful in teaching me Facebook advertising. But he talks about how for his business, he loves to do Facebook ads, right? It's something he enjoys. He also has somebody who helps him works on it, but he does Facebook ads because he enjoys it as well. So with that type of stuff, I would recommend, if you can be competent enough to communicate, then from there start allocating work, because the less time you work inside of your business, meaning doing the small minutia work, is less time for you to go ahead and build your business, grow your business bigger, and start doing business development. If you can go ahead and find people who are better at you than at doing that, and you're competent enough at understanding it, having them do that job, and you focus on building your business bigger, getting more clients, building relationships with local businesses, getting more attention, exposure, getting more publicity in your local area, connecting with some big players in your industry. That's going to be the biggest thing. That's going to be your biggest role in your business, as well as being your digital strategist, right? Being somebody who is basically going to show people, show the clients that you have on, is give them basically a roadmap as to where their business should go in direction, what direction they should go in terms of their social media strategy, right? This is the biggest role that you have as an owner of your agency is, A, you're going to be doing business development, growing your business bigger, networking, getting them more clients, and B, being a digital strategist. Understanding whatever client that you bring on, you understand where you should be taking their business, how you should be posting for them, who you should be targeting, what kind of how to build their brand, right? And so as you grow your business bigger and bigger and bigger, you're going to have people now allocate different jobs to these people. So you're going to have somebody who does Facebook ads entirely, someone who does the digital strategy entirely, and you're going to be the one who's continually doing business development if you want to, unless you want to hire somebody else to do business development for you, right? Just to give you guys an example, I don't want to make sure you guys are understanding what I'm saying, is that, for example, Gary Vee, right? Gary Vee is somebody who focuses heavily on business development. He has other people who he allocates jobs out, such as digital strategy. But when he started from the very bottom, from ground zero, like where many people are starting off from, he had to be the one who does many jobs. He did the payroll, he did the digital strategy, he did the business development. Then as he grew, he had somebody do the digital strategy. He had somebody go ahead and do the sales for him, right? He doesn't do sales. What he does is he builds relationships, which eventually lead to sales, yes. But he forms relationships and builds the publicity of his company. So this is kind of the overall big picture of what we're trying to build here as an agency. And sorry, I'm going on side tangent, but it kind of I can talk forever about this. But yeah, man, that's kind of the basic thing. I think the original question was outsourcing or doing it in-house yourself. And so we kind of went on a side tangent there. But yeah, man, that's the answer.
Hey, man, great way to go in detail, man. it gets it now. So me and you both, we have invested tons and probably thousands. I've invested thousands. I'm pretty sure that you invested thousands in courses.
Yep.
What course helped you? What course do you think provided you the most value for social media marketing?
Right. So I took the thing that started it all, that started everybody, was the Ty Lopez course. That was a great spark. Yeah, that was a great spark. Exactly. And that's what got everybody, pretty much a lot of people, started on this journey, which was awesome, and I'm forever thankful for that course. Then I started taking some other courses. I invested, thousands of dollars in other courses as well, which have then, taken what I first learned, which is good, a good start, but definitely didn't teach me the details that I needed to know to kind of do Facebook advertising at a high level, business development or sales at a high level. So this was one course in particular that I've been taking. It's been phenomenal. It's been helping me. The biggest issues that most people have is not social media, right? If you can't get a client into your business, if you're struggling to get your first client, that is not a social media issue. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, it is a sales issue. You have to understand sales. You have to understand how to communicate properly with a business owner, talk the same language. You have to understand the different ways to interact, the whole sales process, right? Reading books like this one, for example, highly recommend it. You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. The best book by far I've read in sales. But other books, and then one particular course that I've been taking for a few months has been helping me immensely. And so taking that course has been awesome, and basically it has taken my agency from amateur to now I'm starting to kick ass a bit, and I'm understanding at a higher level what to do. So this course has been so awesome. It's been amazing, and I highly recommend you guys finding a course similar to this one that I've been taking that pretty much has opened your eyes in terms of selling and building your business bigger. That's such an important thing to have. But yeah.
Wow, you speak really highly of that course. What is the name of that course?
I don't know if I should share it, man. it's. I'll maybe tell you guys at the end, but it's small right now because it hasn't been promoted as much. But I don't know if I want everybody else to just hop on. I want to make sure there's hustlers on there who's helping each other. Well, maybe we'll talk about that a little later. How about that?
Right. Yeah, we definitely should get into that, man. Definitely. So, what is your best way of acquiring new clients?
Good question. I ran through a lot of different methods. Like I said, cold calling, cold approaching, emailing, Facebook, LinkedIn, networking events, a ton of stuff. And I figured out at this stage the most effective thing for me, my business, has been LinkedIn outreach and networking. Those two, hand in hand, have been phenomenal and more than enough that I could. The other day I got referred 3 clients, right? Just one day. In one day you get referred. And the only way that can happen is if you go network and have other people keeping an eye out for your business, right? If you can go ahead and do that, then it's limitless at that point. It's limitless.
Man, that is great. So how were you able to find out how to do all that stuff? Like, how did you how to go to networking events and stuff like that? How did you know how to sit in networking events? And how did you learn how to do all that stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, it's like trial and error. But in Ty Lopez course, for example, there's an instructor in particular. He mentioned go to networking and do LinkedIn. Right, it's a great way to go ahead and get more clients. I'm also taking. I mentioned a course earlier that I was taking. This online course has been like instrumental in giving me like full scripts on what to say. Right, like for example, if you're on LinkedIn, there's like a full script. The course puts out that I can use. So I've been using that script and it's been helping me immensely. So for example, here's an example of what they say on the course. If you're reaching out to somebody, the first thing you need to focus on though is building your own profile before you go ahead and reach it. Because the biggest thing is if you can build your profile to look right, professionally, you have 500 connections, you have endorsements like crazy on social media marketing. Building that up is going to be super important because when you reach out to a prospective client, all you have to do is they see that you have well connected and high endorsements in social media marketing. You can say the way you approach it is you don't say, "Hey, I have a marketing company. If you need any marketing services, let me know." No, that's the worst approach you can do. You lead with value. Okay, that's a big concept they mentioned. Right? And so leading with value means you got to lead with something that's going to be of value to them. So you might go ahead and you might see a client that you want to go ahead and do business with. Look up their social media platforms, break down their social media platforms, and give them some really awesome, easy to use steps to take on how to improve their profile. Say, hey, my name's Mark, and I noticed that your business, I have a few issues with your business. And then maybe even send them like some screenshots of the website and say, hey, the logos are the social media icons are at the very bottom. They should be at the top so people can go ahead and interact with social media pages more often. There's a you misworded this title here in your page or on your social media account. There's been several reviews. If you go ahead and bad reviews, if you if you go ahead and comment and respond to them, it's gonna really reflect really well in your business. Or in this situation or this post, you should just let's say the posts are really wordy, right? They have a lot of wording on their posts. You can say, hey, actually, the studies show that wording. Less wording, less text is more effective for your business, right? And maybe even go on likealizer.com, right? They mentioned this in the Tai Lopez course. Likealizer.com, essentially, if you put in their Facebook profile, their link, you put it into likealizer.com, it'll break down. It'll send you a report and break down their entire Facebook page and tell the pros and cons. And so you can just straight copy and paste like 3-4 pros and cons of their Facebook page and send it to them on LinkedIn. And then at the bottom of that, say, by the way, my name is Mark and I have this social media company. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I have a few more in mind that I would like to share with you. Boom, done. So approach with value, give them tips, and at the end say who you are, your business. Then you say, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I have a few more ideas that I'd like to share with you. So if you do this about 100 times, you're going to get at least 1%, right? At least 1%. And hey, 1% is one potential meeting. Who knows what that one potential meeting is going to lead to? Who knows? So the biggest thing that I've been learning from this, from what I've been, the course that I've been taking is go ahead and use this. You go ahead and lead with value. That's number one with LinkedIn. Then first build your profile. For those of you who are watching who want to go ahead and use this strategy, I highly recommend 2 different things that you can buy monthly that will save you time to go ahead and automate this entire process. And that's duxsoup.com. That's a very awesome tool that they mentioned in the course. Duxsoup, duxsoup.com. It's going to go ahead and automate this entire process, so that way you can go ahead and put in certain criteria that you want to of people who you want to connect with. Let's say you're looking to do only restaurant owners. You can go ahead and put in the filter if you download duxsoup.com. Go and get a membership, is input that and then say, looking for restaurant owners of restaurants, In the morning, let's say you go to sleep and you run the system. You wake up with like 100 connections and maybe 5 people responding back saying, hey, yes, I'm interested, because you can automate a message to them. And they can say, yeah, I'm actually interested in using social media services. Please get back to me. Here's my number, or we can meet this day, right? This happens all the time. Very powerful, very powerful. Yeah, so that's one very effective strategy that I've been learning from this the person I've been learning from, and I've been implementing in my own business. Second thing that's been the most powerful by far about anything else has been networking. Networking by far. So BNI, right? If you're in the United States, you know about BNI and Chamber of Commerce. These are 2 business networking events. And the beauty about what I've been learning in this course is that they've been giving me scripts on what to say and what is the most effective strategies when networking. Okay, so for anybody who's watching who hasn't been networking, you're wasting your time if you're cold calling and cold approaching only. If you don't know how to talk to people, well, this is the best time to go ahead and learn. Because if you can't do business, if you can't interact with people properly in a business setting, then you are going to be a weak leader in the future. You might as well get started now and practice that. So networking is going to be essential for you guys to get clients the fastest, the quickest way. And guess what? As you guys are cold calling a business and they say fuck off or get out of here, or they close the phone in your face, the person who is friends with that owner, all that person has to do is say, hey, restaurant owner, my friend here knows how to do social media. Boom. You don't have to go through a receptionist. You don't have to go through an employee. You don't have to go through getting a phone slammed in your face. You have ins, right? When you know somebody who works at the club, the bouncer, he lets you in because he can. That's the same thing right? You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to tell them to reject your ID. Oh, this is not, get out of here. Or you don't have enough girls with you online. You can just go ahead and just get inside the club right away because you know the owner of the club or you know the bouncer, and you have ins, right? Same concept, same exact concept. So what I've been learning from this course has been so helpful is basically go to networking events, refer people, okay? So the biggest thing is you can do is when you first go to a networking event, give value like crazy, right? Refer a bunch of clients to people that you meet. Say, oh, you sell insurance. Oh, well, to restaurants? Cool. I go to restaurants every freaking day. Let me go ahead and refer you a restaurant client. You refer that dude a restaurant client, guess what? Now, that person is going to say, fuck, I want to help this guy out. He referred me a client. I want to help him out. I want to give him the benefit of that. And here's another thing. Here's another tip. Let's say you're going after restaurant owners only, right? That's your niche. You find somebody who sells insurance to restaurants, guess what? He knows restaurant owners, A. B, he knows how to get in front of them, okay? He knows them. He knows restaurant owners. So he can refer you restaurant owners as a client. B, he knows how to get in front of them. And C, you have ins now, right? And now all you need to do is get in and get connected with one person that's a client of his. From there, the rest is history. You get them results, you get them good results, and I'll talk about how to get good results for businesses early on. Then from there, you can go ahead and start building. And here's the best part. I highly recommend if you guys are starting from scratch, you don't know shit about social media, offer whoever you take on as your first client. I personally think this. A lot of people don't believe in this, but I'll say this is what I think. Do one free campaign, okay? Or do a 2-week free trial for your first business client, your client, okay? From there, do a giveaway, a contest giveaway. Run that as an ad, okay? Contest giveaway. You'll get them results quickly, okay? The first time I did this, I got 18 people to come inside my business, my first client, in 4 hours, okay? First time I ever ran Facebook ads and I ran a giveaway. I said $5. It happens to be a place where that sells gyros for $5. I said $5 gyros, okay? Only today. That's the ad I wrote. I did, okay? And so that got turned into 18 new people to come inside the door. And the guy said, "Holy shit, what did you do?" He said, "I've sent out hundreds of flyers locally, and have offered free food if they come in, and he got 0 in return." And he's like, "I don't know what you did." So the biggest thing I recommend for getting results quickly is doing contest giveaways, okay? That's what I've been learning in the course that I've been taking. It has been so helpful in getting results early on, okay? And they talk in the course I'm taking, and I'll talk about this later. I guess I'll mention it to you guys, but the biggest thing is they talk about how to, first get results, but then how to consistently get results for them. They talk about that strategy because when you're first starting out, you're first thinking, well, okay, what happens when I get my first client, okay? And that's the biggest thing that I had early on, and then I got results for them. So then from now, I'm thinking about the rest of the process, right? How do I get more clients? That's the first thing. How do I outsource properly? How do I build my business bigger? How do I make sure that I have the least amount of time I'm spending inside my business, and I'm just getting more people to take over the work? And how do I get more clients? And how do I get more money? And how do I put these documents together? Right? Let's say if you're good at all these different small questions, how do I go ahead and charge? Right? How do I send an invoice? What software do I use to send an invoice to a client? Like these little things. These are all addressed in the course that I've been taking, and it has been so helpful. Right? So, I highly recommend you guys, find a course that's just that will show you guys these little in between steps, because some people forget. It's so tough when you're starting out because there's so many things that you don't know. Like, how do I send an invoice, or what do I do in the first day, the first time I meet with a business owner? What do I do? Or the second meeting, what do I do? The third meeting, how do I close a client? All these things need to be answered. And so fuck it, I'll just say the name of the course, the Joe Soto course. I don't know if you guys watch social media marketing, the Ty Lopez course, but Joe Soto is one of the best instructors on there, and he is the best instructor on there. Scratch that. And he actually released a course recently that I've been taking with a bunch of other people, and it's been insanely helpful for my progression and just advancing forward. Like I mentioned, if anybody has any struggles with how do you do sales, but here's the thing: take this course only if you're serious. If you guys are not willing to, if someone is not willing to put in the work, they just want to see a video, they want to learn more, they want to take action, do not join, because it's going to be wasting your time, and it's going to be wasting everybody in the group's time, because everyone on there right now, there's only like 140 people, and it's being closed actually in the next couple of days. It's closing, the course is being closed down for a month. Only, and then the people who are in that group, only in the month they'll stay. And so everyone in the group right now is literally taking action. Everyone's posting. This guy closed a $12,000 deal recently, which has been wild. And the people who've been closing deals left and right from the stuff they've been learning from it. So I highly recommend, if you guys are action takers, if anybody's taking action now, or they want to know if they're serious about starting off, I highly recommend you guys check it out. Like I said, he's going to be closing it in the next couple of days for a month straight, and you guys won't be able to buy it till August. But highly recommend you guys check it out if you're serious and you're confused still about getting clients, about anything regarding social media. He covers it. Outsourcing, how do you first get your first clients, how do you get results for them. He talks about Facebook marketing. He talks about a whole bunch of other stuff. He talks about how to send invoices. He talks about sales. To kind of talk about one of the biggest things I think that is an issue, I'll go ahead and transition into that, is sales. Okay, so let me give you guys a few sales strategies that he mentions in the course. I know I'm talking a lot, Pro Ambitionz. I'm making your job really easy right now. Yeah. So if you guys are intimidated through a sales situation, right? So what happens? I get this question a lot on my channel. So Mark, what happens when I get the meeting with somebody? What do I do, right? And it's fair. I didn't know what I had to do. I had to talk to an expert like Joe and get some advice from a sales expert. He's been training. He had actually owned a sales training company for 12 years before, and he's actually training with the best in the sales world ever. Jeffrey Gittimer and Harvey McKay and a bunch of other guys. And so he knows what he's talking about. So long story short, this is basically the process. So with the first meeting, guys, all you have to focus on is sitting back, taking a notebook, a pen, and ask them questions, okay? Don't complicate it. With the first meeting, you have to understand first if they even want your services, or even if they're a fit for you. How do you even know? Let me shift your mindset here a bit. How do you even know if they're qualified to meet your services? This might sound stupid if you're first starting out, because you're like, I'll take on anybody. Well, to a degree. I mean, if they're going to be paying you a shit amount of money, like, why would you take it? First of all. Second of all, how do you even know you want to work with them? Okay, that's the biggest thing that I shifted my mindset. If I don't get along with them, why would I even want to work with them? Because if they're going to be difficult to work with, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And guess what? Further down the line, yes, you maybe get paid by them, but they're going to be worse because they might even talk negatively about your business. They might be difficult to. You might wake up and you're like, say, "Oh, I hate this job. I hate this job," right? Because of this one client that you have to do work with. So here are the four top questions that I ask when I go into the meeting with a business owner. Okay, my runner. This is the first meeting. So what I do is I say, whatever. I see the person. Hey, how are you doing? How's it going, John? Yeah, da, da, da. Small talk. Yeah, da, 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 da. Anyways, there's a point in the conversation from small talk to when you sit down. And, all right, it's time to talk business now. Okay. So from there, what I say to set the frame really is, I say, so John, quick question. Why did you decide to meet with me today? Okay. Powerful question. It might seem very subtle, very nonchalant. And you can say it very nonchalantly, but the reason why I'm saying this question is because, one, I have to set the frame that I'm the one who's asking questions and he's the one who's responding back. AKA, I'm the one who's the authority in the situation, and he's the one who's the one who's chasing, right? He's the one who's trying to qualify himself. So why do I do this? Okay, first, I have to set the frame that I'm the one who is the authority. Why is this important? First, it builds trust. It builds that you know what you're talking about. Okay, if you ask him this question, it's very simple. So why is it that you decided to meet with me today? Now he's going to say, he can say a couple of different things. He can say, well, you reached out to me and you mentioned that you offered social media marketing services, and to be honest, we actually are looking for somebody. Okay, that's the first thing they could say. Second thing is, well, to be honest, we need some help with social media. We don't know what we're doing, and so we needed an expert to go ahead and do this. So really what you're trying to do is get him to start responding to you. Okay, you set the agenda, you set the frame, and he's the one who responds back. This is going to be very powerful as the next couple of questions I reveal happen, is because it gives him it puts him in the state of you asking and him following. Very important to build trust and have him then become in a buying state, right? Because you want to go ahead and ask him a question, and he starts talking, and you take notes if you need to. So that's the first question. So John, why is it that you decided to meet with me today? Well, Mark, because we've been around for a while, and during lunchtime we've been getting really slow over the years. We just need to kind of do something else to get people inside the door more and kind of bring our sales up, because it's going to be our lunch spot is a very weak point in our business at this point, and we want to go ahead and increase the sales. Oh, okay, understandable. That makes a lot of sense. Well, you know what? Social media is a great way to go ahead and improve that, because what it really does is just kind of generate more buzz around your business, right? So John, tell me, now this is the second question. Why do you think social media works for your business? Sorry, scratch that. Let me go back. That's the third question, excuse me. Second question is, what have you done in the past with social media? I say in different variations depending on whatever. But I say anything in terms of like, what has your experience been with social media marketing in the past? Or what has your business done with social media in the past? What is your experience with social media in the past for your business? Anything like that, say that, leave it very open-ended. So what have you done with online marketing for your business in the past? When we say this, now he's revealing some information, because here's what usually happens, right? From my end that I've experienced. It can go in many different ways after you ask him this question. Now you're forcing him to tell you everything, right? Because here's the biggest struggle that I found when I talk to a business owner. Usually, when they're talking to them about social media, is that they're coming now with baggage, right? What if you're talking to an owner who's coming at you with baggage from the past? Let's say he hired, from my experience, this is a real example, someone he's paid $12,000, right, to do for like 3 months of work. They were stuck in a contract for a year, but they were just working, doing $12,000 for 3 months. They've settled, and they would consider the pricing for further down the line. But he was stuck in a contract, and he paid up front $12,000, which I don't understand. I don't understand why he would do that. But people are willing to pay money. That just shows you people are willing to pay money for good services. So just keep that in mind right there. Anyways, he's coming at me, and I don't understand why he's giving me so much resistance, right? This is before I started asking these questions more regularly. By the way, these questions I learned from the Joe Soto course. I wouldn't have otherwise known these, and as well as actually interviewed some other people on my channel that have been giving me some great insight. So to go back to the point, when you ask them this question, what has your experience been in the past with social media? Now they're going to reveal to you, hey, here are my biases. Okay, so he could go say, well, we hired this company a few months ago, and they totally did an awful job. They promised this, they promised this, they promised this, and we just don't even, to be honest, sometimes I just don't think that social media even works, right? They might say something like that. Or they could say, oh, we haven't done anything with social media, so they're coming completely new to it, okay? Or they could say, we've tried in the past, and you know what, we've done it ourselves, and Facebook advertising just doesn't work, right? I get that all the time. All three of those different things, I get that every single, either a variation of those three things, right? This is very important because you're going to start picking up on patterns as you meet with more business owners. So he's going to start talking heavily, right? Oh, in the past. Let him talk. Let him or her talk. Whoever the business owner is, let them talk. You sit back. You write down notes, right? You're sitting back, nod. Okay, writing down that had company in the past. Didn't get results. Paid $12K. Okay. Then somewhere he says, oh, Facebook ads don't work. So I write that down. Facebook ads do not work. Okay. Do not work. Okay. So I start asking these questions open-endedly, right? What has your business done in the past with social media? They're going to start revealing a ton of stuff. Let them open up. Okay. They might come to a point where they stop talking. They say, and so da-da-da-da, and then it's like silent. Don't be scared to be silent for a few seconds. Look at them. Just nod. Just be silent. Give them a few seconds. Usually they'll start talking. Funny enough. Okay? They'll start talking. They'll start talking again. And because it's awkward a bit, right? The important thing why you want to do this is because now you've gotten them to start talking more and more and more and more. Okay? Obviously, past the 5 to 10 second mark, it's awkward, okay? So it's really awkward at this point. So then go ahead and start saying, okay, I understand. So you mentioned, let's talk a little bit more of this point. So you're writing notes, keep in mind, you're writing notes in this entire time. So he mentioned the point of Facebook ads do not work. So then you can start asking this question. So you know what, John, you actually mentioned a few minutes ago that Facebook ads do not work. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Who was running your ads for you? Oh, that was actually one employee we have in the house. he was just trying it out. It was his first time. Okay. So how do you know Facebook ads do not work? Well, we ran an ad and we got 0 clicks, or we had 10 people click on it and no one came in, or we had one person come in, he never came back again, or he was a cheap guy or whatever. Okay. So John, you're telling me that your employee who has had no prior experience, right? Okay, no prior experience in Facebook advertising, tried advertising on the platform, right? He goes, yes. I said, well, what if we bring in somebody who's been doing this for years and tries to do this for your business, right? What if is it possible that Tom actually didn't know how to do it properly, right? Are you familiar with Facebook advertising through the ad manager? You might say, what is the ad manager or whatever? So you can actually target specific types of people. You can target people by demographic, by this, by that, by da-da-da-da. Was that what you guys did? Or did you just click the boost post, right? Oh, we just clicked boost. Isn't that the same thing? No, actually, Facebook advertising has a lot more to do, John. What you actually can do is go from the back end, which is what I specialize in, where we can highly targeted. We can get people within a certain radius of your business. We get people who are interested in pizza, like your business that you sell. We get people who are local to your business, and we can run ads specifically targeting them. Oh, okay. He's a little more interested now. So John, would you say it's fair to say that maybe it wasn't the right person who was doing the ads? He's like, well, yes, I guess that's true. So here's the key. You want him to say, yeah, I guess you're right. Or yes, you want him to agree with you. Okay, there's a concept, guys, called you want to sell the prospect 9 times. Ooh, that's fucking 7. 9 times at a pen I was carrying. You want to sell him. You want to make sure he sold 9 times before you actually close him. Okay, this is a concept that I learned from some people that I interviewed. Also, this is a concept that Joe Soto talks heavily about in his course. That's why I'm such a big proponent I'm such a big fan of it, because I didn't know this shit beforehand. No one teaches you this stuff, right? They just teach you social media or they teach you sales. Nobody combines the two and has experience for both. He's run a sales training company and he's run an agency for the past 8 years. He's the best coach, in my opinion, for me. So basically, what you have to do then is get the prospect, to nod their heads and say, yeah, you're right. Right? If you can do that 9 times, right, you can get them to agree and sell them 9 times to agree with you. You are in a buying state. You have then created a buying state. So anyways, I digress. Okay, so you say, wouldn't you agree, John, that maybe Tom is not the best person to run Facebook advertising? Well, maybe you're right. Okay, so you would say so, right? You're like, yeah, exactly right. So John, let's say, for example, you had someone who's trained in doing this and who specializes in Facebook advertising. Do you think there's a possibility that it could work for your business? Well, if he's been doing it for a few years, he might be, yeah, I guess so. So if I, for example, had one of my teammates go ahead and work on your ads, and we could generate some leads for you guys, and let's say, for example, we did get you people inside the door, would Facebook advertising, would you reconsider doing that? He said, yeah, I would, yeah. Okay, perfect. So I see here also, I just want to quickly touch up, you mentioned that, you mentioned that you didn't have an email, or you had an email list, correct? He said, yeah, we send emails all the time, no one responds, no one even opens them. Oh, okay, John, no problem. Did you know that actually you could go ahead, have you ever actually imported your emails into Facebook? You might say, you can do that? Yeah, you can actually target the people who have emails linked with that Facebook account and target their Facebook profiles. That way you can continually send ads to people who have been to your restaurant and who are likely to buy from your restaurant again. Whoa, I didn't know that. Tom didn't know how to do that. Yeah, well, actually, this is one of the things that I offer for my businesses. Do you think that would be helpful for your business, John? Yes, it would. Okay, now we have 3 nods, 3 yeses out of 9. You need to get 6 more to say. So you guys pick up the pattern here? This is very effective because you want him to say, yes, you're right, Mark. Yes, you're right, Mark, 9 times. Right? Until you get that to 9 times, ideally you want 9. It might be before. Who knows? You might be in a buying state. Then from there, the third question I asked, which I said earlier, was, why do you think, now that we've talked a bit about this, why do you think social media is helpful for your business, John? Then he'll start, guess what? It's a funny question, why? You're asking him why your services will be beneficial to his business. And he's going to start saying, now he's going to start selling you on why you are the right person for his business. So he starts saying, you know what, after talking with you, it seems like we can definitely target a bunch of people locally in different ways that we didn't know before, You start taking notes here again and say yes, and then get him to say yes again. Right? So John, you think that this is, so you do think that Facebook advertising will be effective for your business? Yes, I do. Especially after Keep on getting to say yes, 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 yes. You want to pay me 10 grand? Yes. You want to give me your whole company? Yes. Get him to say yes, just to get him in that rhythm saying yes, 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 yes. Okay. Fourth question. Why do you think that why do you think that hiring me would be beneficial for your business? Well, to be honest, you properly communicated this stuff to me. I think it seems like the way you guys go about Facebook advertising and building my email list is going to be super effective. Again, get him to say yes, grab specific points that he mentioned in his conversation and point it out and say, so you think da-da-da-da-da-da? And he says, yes, I do, Mark. And so you agree with that, da-da-da-da? Yes, I do, Mark. Then, that's the kind of the last question I have. The last one I say, okay, perfect. How about this? Let's set up a time, right? At the end of the first meeting, set up a time and a day and have him commit to the second meeting. The second meeting, right, is where you go ahead and you write a proposal. Meaning, all it means is that you basically outline on the things that would be effective for his business. Okay? The things that he agreed that would be effective for his business. Then you have like your line to have him sign, and now you have a document that you send him. So this whole process. So from the first meeting, what you say at the end of that, you say, so what are the next steps that we can do to move forward with this? He said, well, let's meet again and we can talk in detail now. Bring a proposal, or you can suggest this yourself. Say, well, do you agree the next best thing to go ahead is we can meet again? Would you like to meet again? He'd be like, yes, I have to go whatever he might talk about. Say, okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and bring a proposal, and that way we can go ahead and talk more and see if this is the best fit for both of us. It seems like it's the best fit for both of us, or whatever it may be. He said, oh, sounds good. Make sure you do not leave that first meeting with a certain date and time for the next meeting. Okay? No matter what he says, he might throw objections left and right to you. He might say, oh, I have to talk to my business partner. Oh, I might have to. So then what you got to say here, whatever he throws at you, you say is, okay, so would talking to your business partner, be something that you'd like to do before you head and set the next meeting? He said, yes. He said, how about this? Let's set the meeting today. You talk to your business partner. If you decide that you want to go ahead and cancel the meeting, fine, so be it. But reschedule it or cancel it, so be it. But let's go ahead and set it now, so that way I have some material to prepare for, right? I understand that you want to talk to your business partner. If you went ahead and discussed with him, would you feel more comfortable moving forward? Yes, I will. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and set a date now. You can cancel that later. How does that sound? Okay, cool. Okay, fine. I guess I can do that, right? Usually says that. He says, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Say, no problem. No problem. I understand, John. What could I do now to go ahead? Can we bring him in the? Can we go ahead and can you actually bring up on the phone your partner? Bring your partner up on the phone, right? Whatever he throws at you, think of what you could be doing to get him to set that date. Oh, would it be more comfortable if we get John, your partner, on the phone right now with us? We can go ahead and discuss it. Yeah, I guess we can do that. If he says no to that, okay, no problem, John. What we can do is actually, if you'd prefer, we can go ahead and oh crap, there's a third one to this one. This is likely not going to happen. This never happens to me. But if he says no to that one again, I usually push for the third. I say, okay, no problem, I understand. How about this? What could I do to go ahead and get that? I know I want to respect that you want to bring your partner and have him included into what we were talking about. But what could I do now to go ahead and make sure we set a meeting for next time? Right? You're asking him what you're going to be doing to make sure you set the meeting for next time today. Right? So the third one is like you ask him, what can I do today so we can set the meeting for next time? Right? So we can set it right now. So those are 3 different suggestions. Those are 3 different tips. I got all of these, by the way, from the course that I've been taking. I didn't know any about this before. So I attribute all of the sales knowledge that I have to Joe Soto's course by far. And he's been extremely instrumental in showing me these different steps. Now, you get you set the date now, and the second meeting comes. What do you do in the second meeting? I mentioned you set up a proposal, which is very simple. You can Google proposal template online. You find a template that you can use. If you have the Ty Lopez course or the Joe Soto course, he already gives you a template to use. Okay, but you can go ahead and Google one if you prefer. And what you want to do is now put together a document as well. Okay, you want to make sure you have a document. Make sure you run this by a lawyer. For example, if you go to LegalZoom.com, you can go ahead and have them put together a document. It's very cheap, very, very cheap to get a lawyer. Extremely cheap to get a lawyer to put a document together for you to make sure everything is and coherent and stuff. So you bring that document, that document, and a proposal. You show them the proposal. This is by this meeting, you should know, you should have a gauge as to where their body. This is the easiest part. If you guys did your job in the beginning, where you got him to say yes 9 times and agree, right? This should be an easy close. The hardest part is the first meeting. The easiest part is closing, as it should be. Okay, closing should be, all you got to do is show them, here's what we talked about last week, and here's here's the document that you would have to sign. If you want to go ahead and move forward and getting the services that we mentioned before, just give me the green light and just sign below. Boom. Make it simple for him. Give me the green light and sign below. That's it. That's the close. Simple. Before, I complicated the shit out of it. I complicated it. I made it difficult. I made it tough for myself. I made it tough for him. I made it more of a big deal. Like, so here's the document. If you go ahead and, you can sign below if you want to and check it out. No. Hey, if you want to go ahead and give me the green light to this, go ahead and sign below. Done. Joe Soto taught me that technique. Very powerful. Saved me a ton of time and it saved me a ton of clients from saying no to me. I highly recommend you guys focus and do these steps and follow them to the T. Okay, it should be a 2-meeting process. Meet them the first time, have them say yes 9 times, have them sit on the idea of what you're offering. Then boom, second meeting, bring that contract, that proposal. A proposal, all it is an outline of what you guys discussed, meaning what steps, what you guys discussed, and what you will be taking, what you will be doing for his business moving forward. It doesn't have to be a concrete plan, map, drawing, like lines and shit. No, it's just like a brief outline of what services you'll be offering, the price tag, and have him, and then send him an invoice. Say, I'll go ahead and get started. So this is the whole process here. I didn't know this beforehand. I had to learn this from somebody else. The course that I took to learn this is you have that proposal, you have that document, you have them, you say that line. If you guys are interested, if you guys want to go ahead and move forward, and just give me the green light and sign below. You say that line. They say, okay, let's go ahead and do this. They sign the document. You tell them, perfect. I'll go ahead. Just send me an invoice. I'm going to send you an invoice. And after I receive the payment, we can go ahead and start moving forward. Okay. Now, from there, when you get that client, you go ahead and you set up a meeting. The following, let's say if it's during the week, and let the weekend pass. The beginning of the week, you say we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to. I'll meet you on this day. Set another meeting now for the first time you meet with that owner. When they're your client, right? This is called the, I forgot what he talks about in the course, what meeting is called. But essentially, this is where you go ahead and show them what your plan is to do and when you'll be starting. This is the plan we're going to be doing, guys. You guys are good? You like this plan? Cool. We're going to get started today. Boom. That's it, guys. That's the whole process. Okay?
Wow. Hey, I'm gonna let everybody decide how. Man, I'm just speechless, man. Cause you just literally covered a ton of stuff, and I'm pretty sure my audience is gonna love that, man. I really want to thank you for this interview.
Hey, of course, man. Hey, guys, this is something that took me time to learn. So I suggest you guys invest in learning this if you're serious about doing it, right? Really invest in different things that are going to get you moving forward. So it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on Pro Ambitionz.
No problem, man. And thanks for sharing that awesome course with them, too, man. Make sure y'all go and check that course out. Because a lot of courses don't teach you all the little technical stuff. So, hey, if you're interested and you want to take your agency to the next level, go check out that course. And thank you, Mark. Man.
Yeah, and actually one more thing, man. If you guys want to go ahead and learn more about what I do, go ahead and check me out on my channel. I also have an Instagram. I'm sure Pro Ambitionz will put it below for you guys. I'd love to go ahead and provide you some more info. Me and Pro Ambitionz, if you guys want to see me and him do more collabs back and forth, let him know below. And same thing for me. I love to do collaborations and showing you guys the best information, teaching you guys all the tips that I know. So he'll have that below, and he'll also put the course link below as well. But yeah, guys, I highly recommend if you guys are serious action takers, you're actually serious, and you want to know the stuff that I just taught you, that I explained, that I only learned from one of the courses I took. I definitely recommend you guys checking it out at least. I know it's closing in the next couple of days, so you guys can have immediate access to it. But don't please, here's a disclaimer, don't join if you're not serious. Everyone right now is posting like crazy. They're interactive. They're taking action a ton. Don't dilute that group. Take action. If you're gonna buy this course, you're gonna take action, and if not, then you won't have access to it. By the way, anyways, till August. So if you guys are interested in your action takers, take action now and go ahead and look at the course. I promise you, I think we've had 0 people leave the group so far. Okay, so it's been pretty good conversion rate. So, anyways, guys, take care. Thank you so much, Pro Ambitionz.
No problem, man. And everybody, just remember 2017 is our year. Don't stop. Keep on going. And have a blessed day. Peace out.
Peace.